Good evening, good evening, good evening. Today is still Monday, July 7th, 2025. Back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Now, we've been having this issue for a long time with the border being wide open, illegal immigration, people flooding across the border from Mexico and other places. And we've had Americans bucking against our government enforcing our immigration policy. With a new government, our new president, whatever, but they don't like, President Trump, whatever. So he's enforcing the laws that are already on the books. Deporting illegal immigrants. Tell them to do it the right way, right? He ain't doing nothing wrong, doing what any other country would do, including Mexico. What President Trump is doing is what any other country would do other than a Democrat-led country like America, when, Democrats in power. We're the only ones that do that type of foolishness, just let folks flood across the border and have at it. So in the process of our current administration enforcing our border laws and our immigration policies, we've had Americans, a lot of which are black Americans, bucking against the president, taking the side of the illegal immigrants. Black people, yeah. Because you hate your country so much and you hate the president so much, you took the side of the illegals. Never took into consideration, they don't like you. They're not down for black people. Here you are out here risking your life for them, selling your own country out for them, and then this is how they feel about you. Hold on a minute.
Yesterday, 4th of July, they had a protest in Mexico against American migrants, and it turned violent where they start attacking American businesses.
African Americans are not the reason why Mexico is experiencing a gentrification crisis.
Don't get me.
Well, the truth of the matter is, I felt my safest self. And safe is relative, but safe to be my authentic self, safe to express myself in the way that I really desire to express myself. That feeling of safeness, I've only felt outside of the United States. And me living in Mexico as an African American woman, I've never felt discrimination from the Mexican people. When I have felt discrimination, it's been from Americans.
Watch what he says after this. So their complaints against the American migrants is gentrification. They're draining the resources of Mexico. Here's one. Americans in Mexico should learn Spanish. Americans in Mexico should learn Spanish. Now, when America expressed these same concerns, Americans are the villains, are have phobias. Oh, you shouldn't say that. But when Mexico says this, is long live Mexico, we support Mexico. But when Mexico says this, is long live Mexico, we support Mexico. And if you look at the numbers, there's over 10 million plus Mexican immigrants in the United States. 4 million of them live in Southern California, and a high percentage of them is receiving some form of government assistance. Let's not talk about Medi-Cal, which is Medicaid. That's California versions of Medicaid.
Now he brings up
Gentrification is when you bring money from your country into a different country. You raise up the prices of everything because you're buying top-notch houses, you're building businesses, you're trying to basically push people that have lived in that area out of there because you're making everything too expensive. And this everyone complaining about the locals and the culture, people being up too late, making noise near your new condo that you bought in your retirement in Mexico. And I think we're going to see more of this. We're going to see more people in Mexico fighting back, pushing back against people in America, whether they're well-intended or not, coming in and doing so. Because if you're going to go into another country, as you guys like to say, You gotta assimilate. You gotta learn the culture. But for some reason, Americans think that they're the exception. They could go to these places, make their own areas.
But we want to discuss gentrification. Try finding a place in Los Angeles or Southern California, especially if it's a lot where they're saturated at, where it's predominantly them. Even if you could afford the rent, most likely they're not going to rent to you. And it'd be like 8 to 10 of them living in a 1-bedroom apartment. When in Los Angeles, it's supposed to only be 3 people to a 1-bedroom apartment. If you try to do that as an American, you will get reported. Now, the Americans that live in Mexico, you got to show proof that you're bringing in $2,600, at least $2,600 a month. So you're showing them you're not going to live off their government. If you don't have that, you have to have $43,000 in the bank to even go over there. Now remember,
in the words of Finesse 2 times, I like to draw inspiration from time to time. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it. It's cool when they do it. You know, follow the immigration rules, laws. If you come over here, you need to learn the language. It's cool when they do it. But it's a problem when we do it. And here you have American citizens, black people, defending people where you're not even welcome in their country, but you fight for them to be in yours because of your political party told you to. You got your ass out here on the front lines protesting with these people who you're not welcome in their country. They want us out of there. You know why they want us out of there? For the same reason we want them out of here. They're raising the prices on everything and lowering the wages. That's what they're doing in America. What are they complaining about in Mexico about Americans coming out? Raising the prices on everything, lowering their wages. They can't afford to live there no more without these Americans moving in, jacking up the price on everything. Did y'all know that, black people? As y'all over here doing what your Democrat Party tell you to do. Did y'all know that Mexicans are over there rioting on the 4th of July, throwing Americans out? Get out, go home, go back where you come from. Not because, and I said, maybe they're doing it because we doing it to them. No. They doing it because of the same reason we doing it. Messing up their economy. As you heard the man say right there. If one of us want to migrate over there, you got to make at least $2,600 a month and have at least $40,000 in the bank to make sure you ain't going to live off their government. So, what? You see how they can come over here broke, busted, and disgusted? Come over here and get on Medicare, Medicaid, housing, food stamp assistance and all that. They just come over here and live off our government. But if you go over there, they're not going to let you there as an American citizen. You can't go stay over there unless you're making $2,600 a month and you got at least $43,000 cash in the bank to make sure you ain't over there to live off their government. What kind of hypocritical Democrat shield bullshit is that? You over here, black people, defending them, the poor illegal immigrants, the migrants, they went, oh Lord have mercy, we gotta help them. But if you want to go over there to work, the same thing they claim they're doing, coming over here to do, right? You're an American citizen. You're not trying to escape nothing. You're going over there to work and to contribute. They're not going to let you over there unless you're making $2,600 a month, minimum, and you got at least $43,000 in the bank. So in other words, somebody like me and you can't go over there. To my stand. How convenient. But they talking to the Mexican president, talking shit about Trump, talking about how low down and dirty he is. Got you black folk, these Democrats got y'all running around here looking stupid for them. And you can't go over there though. Unless you making $2,600 a month and you got at least $40-some thousand saved up in the bank. You ain't moving over there. You can visit, but you got to get your ass up out of here at a certain time. If you as an American want to move your ass to Mexico, you got to be making at least $2,600 a month and a minimum of $43,000 cash in the bank to move over there. Like I said, you can visit, vacation, cruise, but you got to turn your ass around, go back to America. We can't do them the way they doing us. And y'all over here as black people, standing up for, fighting for, people that are taking stuff that's meant for us. And them same people don't want you over there. Y'all are special kind of stupid. Them people over there tearing up buildings, protesting, rioting. Not the immigrants, not us. We ain't over there protesting like they doing over here with us. See, they come over here and protest in our land. We're not over there protesting in theirs. They over there protesting to get us out of there. You can't make this shit up. Check it out for yourself. I'm just finding out about it. I'm like, I can't believe this. But then again, I can. Black people, don't continue to allow this Democrat Party to use you as pawns. They want them immigrants in here for their own benefit. It ain't for the benefit of America. It ain't for the benefit of us. They're using you to get their way. But did y'all know that you can't go to Mexico? We so welcoming. Everybody come on in. Welcome. We love you. The melting pot. Come on in. But Mexicans over there fighting to keep folks out their country. How about that? They fighting to keep folks out and then talk shit about us and we do the same thing. They don't want you to come over there if you can't speak the language. But we say the same thing. You got to speak English or we racist. But they over there protesting. If you can't speak Spanish, go home. No, I kid you saw it? Can't speak Spanish, go home. Go back where you came from. They're out there protesting in the streets. Hold on.
Out, they chanted in Tijuana today.
Criminales, son unos criminales.
Hundreds of Mexicans angry already at the suddenly huge and growing number of migrants who've just arrived in the border city. Fleeing strife in countries south of there, the migrants, roughly 3,000 of them, seek asylum in America. But so many have arrived so quickly, Tijuana's shelters are overrun. And those intent on crossing into the U.S. properly face a lengthy wait, putting names on lists to be handed to U.S. authorities for processing, which could take months. It's complicated, he says. But considering the outlook for these people in their home country was either life or death, it's a better outlook here. This, as Mexican authorities built an ad hoc barrier overnight at the border crossing into California aimed at tightening access for all. As U.S. soldiers along other parts of the border, this is Laredo, Texas, continued to reinforce their barriers with razor wire. Today, Donald Trump again called it all an invasion, tweeting that the U.S. will not stand for it. They are causing crime and big problems in Mexico, he wrote. though he gave no details, adding simply, "Go home." For their part, migrants told reporters all they want is a better life in the U.S. Have a bit of sympathy for the children, she says. We're not thieves. We have come to work and do the jobs that the Americans don't do. But for now, they wait. Their numbers in Tijuana expected to triple within days. Paul Hunter, CBC News, Washington.
It's cool when they do it. It's cool when they do it. Problem when we do it. They don't want migrants flooding their country, but it's okay for them to flood ours. I rest my case. Get it, got it good. Bye.